Hey everybody, welcome to the GM's Alcove. GM Fritz here, and give you guys a little update on my hobby room. And I did a lot of work the other day, bringing in some more games and books from the past. A lot of my stuff comes from the 80s and 90s. In the early 2000s, I did a lot of collecting of my stuff and playing a lot of games. That far shelf there, for instance, that was all yesterday. A lot of work put into cleaning those books up and games and putting them on shelves. So, yeah. Thought I'd show some of it off so far, my progress in my game room. If you guys don't know, in the past 3 years or so, maybe even longer, I haven't had a game room. No place to play my miniatures games. Not really even my board games or role-playing. Play a lot online and with my role-playing so that I could fit into my other room where I sleep. But I got this room back, and this has been my room since I basically grew up in here, honestly. And got that back room closed off at the moment. And sorry for the lighting here, that's my studio lights. I shoot all my videos and all that kind of thing. There's a window there behind that blanket I gotta fix next year. And yeah, there's my game table, the layout. That's where I do all my miniatures gaming. Maybe set up some monster board games, I don't know. All those boxes, that's storage. The boxes in the far right there, they're terrain. Stuff I've collected for making terrain and trees, train tracks, and, you know, that kind of thing. Some foam, paints. Those boxes next to it, in the center there, those are all miniatures. Those are unpainted stuff, mostly. I think there's some painted in there. I don't know. I don't have as much as I used to in regards to painted models. So it's probably mostly unpainted. And of course, some of my miniatures I have out now for my battle. I'm currently playing. So you can see some of my terrain boards. But yeah, I grew up in this room. It's fairly big, decent size. A lot of memories here. I used to do games in here as well. Back in the 90s, we used to have a lot of games in this room. Friends would come over and we'd set up a couple tables in here, or this one central table like I got now. Yeah, we'd play some games. Mostly Warhammer, 40K. Back in the day, that was all the rage. And the only thing missing is here is I'd like to have a space for board games. I'd like to have a table set up, and that's a fairly decent sized table, but I don't know where I'd put it. Somewhere in the corner there on the left? I don't know. Yeah. But anyway, that's the look of it. That's my 4x4, and under that is a 6x4. Got some cigar box battle mats on top of there. I could do probably a 4x8 with two of these 4x4s side by side. But I don't prefer big giant layouts like that, honestly. 4x4 is nice, 6x4 is typical, and 2x3s or 4x3s I also enjoy setting up, depending on what I'm playing, really. But anyway, I thought I'd show this off. Doesn't look like much. Floor is a mess. I'm going to put some carpeting in here eventually and paint the walls. And that back room behind that drape there, that's going to be a storage room when I get around to it. And yeah, that's a look at the game room. Some other stuff here. My coffee down there in the corner. And yeah, I thought I'd show this off. Maybe start a little hobby vlog where I get a little personal with you guys and show off my progress in my game room, my thoughts on the hobby and that kind of thing. We'll see. But anyway, I just wanted to give you guys an update on this and show you some of my games here on the bookshelf. Let's take a look. All right, so there's some of them there. Got the boxes on the left. I got some Babylon 5 Wars. I think I had 2 boxes of those. Can't find the miniatures, though. They came with plastic ships. That's a collector piece. Noble Armada, 2 boxes of those. Space combat game models. That Space Marine Razorback box, that's full of 40K counters and tokens and templates and all that stuff. It's really, it used to be for the Razorback model, but I used it for tokens. Fantasy Flight Games, The Hobbit, original version. Still have that. Should be in with my board games. A couple copies of Darkhaven Apocalypse, which was a fantasy miniatures game by Reaper back in the day. Got a bunch of Reaper models with that, and there's rules and stuff. And we got an assortment of goodies there. That's all role-playing and miniatures games. What do we got there? Including some you've probably never heard of, like Chronopia, Vor, that's another one. Warzone, which was the Mutant Chronicles miniatures tabletop game. That's a first edition there on the far left. And working to the right, what else do we got? Chronopia, Leviathan, we got GURPS, all my GURPS stuff. I believe that's 5th edition? I don't know. Mechton Z, Champions, the Hero System, Hong Kong Action Theater. Who remembers that? Right, where is it? Right there. Hong Kong Action Theater. I got a bunch of books for that. Hong Kong Kung Fu movie type role-playing game. Original Hackmaster. Got some books there. Player's Handbook, GM book, Monsters, and all that. Some Heavy Gear, the role-playing game, as well as the miniatures tabletop game. That's the 2nd edition of the role-playing game. Got that in there. That binder next to it, that's full of the miniatures game, I think. For it. And over here we've got some Earth Dawn 1st edition, a ton of that stuff, including the Barsev or Barsev boxed set, some adventures, Zombies game, and that binder in the top there, that's full of Earth Dawn stuff, our original campaign we were playing. Gonna take a look at that. Up here I've got a shed load, Legend of the Five Rings. It's like 2 copies of every single book. Don't ask me. The box set for the setting. I got some 40K. That's like half of it. Got I think that's 3rd edition. 3rd edition 40K, I think. That was my favorite. And some of the Army books. Necromunda 1st edition. Then a slew of Warhammer 4th and 5th edition books there, and Epic 40K, the last edition that I remember. I don't remember which one it was. One that introduced the little mini books and stuff. But yeah, that's all up there. That's only part of it. I'll show the rest in a second. Cigar box battle mats, of course. What else have we got here? Some old boxes. Back in the GW days. Clan Wars, which is the L5R miniatures game. Nick Lund's Fantasy Warriors. Anybody remember that? That was a really good set of rules. Back in the day, everyone was trying to be like Games Workshop and put out a Warhammer clone. That's what Clan War was. Mighty Warriors, Advanced Hero Quest. God, that was good memories in that. Dark Future. Titan Legions. Adds Legion or Titans to your Space Marine games. Original Space Hulk. Oh god, that was good stuff. And one of the editions of Space Marine, Warhammer, I believe that's 3rd edition? God, I don't remember. I had tons of these boxes. I collected all these, but I threw them all away. The boxes. So those are the only boxes that survived. I got some Traveler there. Those books in the middle. There's Traveler, and there's Warhammer Fantasy. Mutant Chronicles, the RPG. That's in there. The original Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay in the far right. Then we got Car Wars, Bolt Action, Run Out the Guns, which is a role-playing game put out by that board gaming company. Who are they? Clash of Arms, I think? I don't remember. I think it's Clash of Arms. Deathwing Genestealer expansions for the original Space Hulk. Yeah. Good stuff. Down here on the couch, I'm sorting through this. These are all Knights of the Dinner Table. Tons of these, and I got lots more up in the attic. And tons of Dungeon Magazine, Dragon Magazine, Wargames Illustrated, more Courier issues of the Courier. I got tons of this stuff I want to go through. I've got them still in shrink wrap too. These magazines, some I never even read. But it'll be fun sorting through these and putting them in storage. Sex, drugs, and demon lords. Rock and roll, brother. Yeah, so that's just some of the stuff I'm sorting through. And of course, a lot of the old stuff. I showed this off before, but there's the rest of the Warhammer and 40K. Again, that's all 2nd and 3rd edition 40K. And 4th and 5th edition Warhammer. Those are my favorites. And a lot of stuff I sold off, like all my Mordheim. Yeah. Some of these codexes I sold off. Yeah, and then of course my Ospreys, Field of Glory, old Wargaming Books. You guys seen all this for the most part. Principles of War, I just brought that down. Napoleonic miniatures. But I got all kinds of stuff here. Warrior, I got a couple copies of that. Yep. 3rd edition D&D, which was, I went to town on that stuff. I mean, I got like tons of books. This is all 3.0, not 3.5. Tons of that, including Oriental Adventures. I also got the L5R Rokugan D20 version, if you know what that is, back in the day. And some Rollmaster underneath here, binder full of Rollmaster. 2nd edition AD&D. I'm going to be playing that again, by the way. I don't know where I got this screen from. Obviously the Ravenloft box. I don't know. This is the screen. But I don't remember buying it. I was never into Ravenloft. And of course, 2nd edition AD&D Battle System. That's the tabletop miniatures game. That's for fighting big battles in your campaigns. And something not a lot of people have, which is this battle system skirmishes. So you can fight skirmish battles in your AD&D 2nd edition games. A lot of Dragonlance miniatures in here. So yeah, there's that. I've got 1st edition AD&D as well. Most of it went through a fire, so it's damaged. I put them in Ziplocs, and just, you know, there's no covers on the rules anymore. And it's a disaster, but I still have it. This is 1st edition. This did survive. I got this from my friend, who I played with back in the day. Played a lot of 2nd edition. Yeah, not as much 1st edition. And, of course, more stuff down here, some old rules from back in the day, miniatures games, historical, tons of them. And folks, if you're curious about any of this stuff, something catches your eye, let me know. And, well, yeah, there's Palladium Rpg, one of the editions. I'll make a video on it, show it off. If you want to see some 3rd or 4th edition 40K or something, or any of these D&D books or whatever. Glad to show it off for you. And of course, this is my stuff in my current collection. This is in the different room. But I'll show this off too. Some of my board games there that I'm quite particularly fond of. The stuff I keep in my, well, basically my bedroom. And there's a ton of Pathfinder 2. With my little pocket editions of the rules. And you know, I always put tabs on my big fat rule books. That's 640-page Pathfinder rule book. And here we got 1st edition Pathfinder, a bunch of books, some original D&D, 1981 and 83 versions there. You can't read the binding. Old School Essentials, Cyberpunk, Call of Cthulhu, and including D20 Call of Cthulhu. I got 2 copies of that rule book, and that's this one. And Starfinder on the end there. And we got Go down here. Some of my favorite board games. SPQR, ASL, and some D&D 5th edition. Some Peterson Games, Kobold Press products. What's that one there? Player's Handbook. That's the CNC book. What is it called? I can't remember. Here's a D20 book. Traps. That should be in the other room. This is stuff that I probably look at and refer to more often, although I don't play 5th edition nor 1st edition Pathfinder at the moment. Yeah, got some starter boxes, card sets, various games. Of course, my painting area. Got duct tape on there. Gotta have duct tape. I don't know why that's sitting there. A lamp. Some of my other board games. Scurvy dice. Painting projects. And so on and so forth. Miniatures. Yeah, this is stuff in my main room where you guys see me make my videos and paint-alongs. I won't show this whole room. It's my bedroom. It's my bedroom, studio, game room. I do my RPGs and board games in here. So yeah, that's that. I come back into the main room. O Group. O Group Action. It's good to be playing some games again. Miniatures games anyway. Been a long time. What else have we got here? Some more games there. Boxed games. 1st and 2nd edition Pathfinder card game. Steel Legions? I don't know. There's something in that box in the bottom there. I don't remember what it is. Kill Team. My 40K collections. Current ones. The latest, last 3 editions. I got models sitting there on the table. Got some buildings there for the Italian campaign. Dice. Bright lights. Unpainted miniatures for World War II, 15 mil. Boxes and boxes and boxes. So yeah, that's that. So there you go, folks. That's a tour of my gaming room, or rooms, plural. I don't know. But it's good to be back with a game room proper where I got space to set up my miniatures games. Because I do love my miniatures games. I love role-playing. It's my #1 interest, honestly. Followed by board games and miniatures games. So, I'm happy. Great game, O Group. Some Panzers and Flames. So, yeah. So, there you go, folks. That's my little vlog update for you guys. I'll do more of these. Updates on my hobby. Talk about my thoughts about the hobby, I guess. And, in this case, show off my new game room and my progress on it. Again, I got a lot to do. Got to paint the walls and ceiling. They got to be repainted. And I got to carpet the floor. And, yeah. And I still have more stuff to bring down. I still got some miniatures rules and some RPG stuff to bring down. So there's more. And I'll show off that stuff. Include my whole collection of Wargames Illustrated and Dungeon and Dragon magazines, Knights at the Dinner Table. I got lots of stuff yet to show off to you guys. And I hope you enjoyed. I hope it was interesting. And I'm excited. So let me know, folks, if there's something you saw here you want me to show off or make a video on. Let me know. I'll do that. There's a lot of old stuff in here. And over the years, I've sold quite a bit of it. Like all my collections of miniatures from back in the day. I don't have as much as I used to, for sure. But, yeah, I still got some stuff here and there. Like Necromunda, one of my favorite all-time games. The original, 1st edition of it. Like 2 copies of every book they made. Binder full of rules. I play that a lot. So, yeah, I got a lot of stuff. All right, folks, I hope you enjoyed. You guys take care, and we'll see. Stay tuned for a future next episode of my hobby vlog. Yeah, sounds good to me. All right, folks, you guys hang in there. It's only going to get better.